Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes Kyler Murray in his 4th NFL season leading this Cardinal offense. Already a 2-time Pro Bowler in his time with Arizona.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team with last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
A check on the numbers last week for Connor. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
Murray to the veteran Green for the Cardinal first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Murray now on first down. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. Inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. And this one caught by Max Williams. And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down. To throw is Murray. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. To throw on 2nd and 10. Murray. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A Cardinal first down. Murray to Hopkins. They'll run here with Connor. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And Murray's going to keep this. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. The tally there, -2 yards. Brings up 3rd down. Now Murray. And Hopkins has got it. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Prater for the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off by the touchdown from DeAndre Hopkins. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. This defense for the Broncos, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. Prater's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test. He's got a man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And this will be a touchback, no return from Isabella. The football going back over to Arizona now. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 15. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. On 1st down, Wilson. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. To throw again on second down. Wilson on the slant. He finds Washington. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 29-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Melvin Gordon. He has career touchdown number 78, tying it with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. Wilson going to throw for it. Forced out to his left. And he is into the end zone as that pushes the lead up to 6. So 2 successful two-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or two-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Isabella not going to risk a return here, and they'll start at the 25. There's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. A 1,000-yard campaign in his sights, Charles, but needs a little bit of a kick here down the stretch to reach it.
And sometimes at this stage of the season, you're looking for that extra goal, right? That extra motivation to accomplish what you want, not just as a team, but as individuals. He's got to stretch a little bit to get there. That might be what they're talking about during the practice sessions, in their meetings. Hey, we can still get this done. Let's go.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 46. Murray giving to Conner on the draw. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 34-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that.
Incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Murray. Finds his running back, James Conner. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 24-yard line. On the draw, Conner. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost.
Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So that's about as fortuitous of a bounce as you're going to find as it's scooped up and taken in for the touchdown.
And I love how you use the word fortuitous there, because as that popped up, he just happened to be in the right place, grabbed it, and found his way into the end zone.
And he's got it. So they tried for 2, successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. Then, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
Isabella now from his end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble. Murray fighting, lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball, because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
On second and goal, Wilson, touchdown Broncos. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
On 1st and 10 is counter. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play, because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain, or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Now an option play on 2nd down. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. From the gun, Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
And that's that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Wilson. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times. And this is taken in at the 5. A huge play there for Denver, 47 yards. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Melvin Gordon, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there's things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build it.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. The final 4 weeks of the NFL season are upon us, and we got some intriguing matchups in prime time tonight. Patriots and Raiders, that's in Vegas. Josh McDaniels taking on his former employee. Touchdown! Tyree Cleveland, 27 yards. And the Broncos have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here in breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon, this offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Murray a give. This is Connor. 44 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Connor going to get it again on second down.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
The offense on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Murray. Caught left side, Hopkins. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. They're going for it. Hits Murray. On the slant, complete to Green. Down inside the 10. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Murray now. Flushed out right. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Randy Gregory. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Murray now to throw. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Connor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. So on is Matt Prater now to try a field goal here. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Prater's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final gun.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football, because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Play fake. Murray. He'll buy some time right. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Murray. And the catch made by Hopkins. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Murray going to throw. He's got Green.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Murray now on 1st down. Flush to his right.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And there's the beauty of Kyler Murray, because we all know he can get it done through the air. Terrific right arm, and nowadays we don't even talk about his height anymore. He's shown that he can see downfield and make throws, but he also possesses wide receiver speed. He can call his own number or scramble and turn it into a big play as well. Kyler Murray, a dual threat at the quarterback position.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray.
Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. To throw, it's Murray. Eluding and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Randy Gregory. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Murray giving to Connor on the option.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Cardinals. A.J. Green, an 11-yard touchdown.
And the Cardinals get a bit closer.
Extra point good by Prater. And that trims the lead a bit, but still standing at 26 points. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
This taken in at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well.
There he goes, left side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos have got it on cruise control.
What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Kyler Murray going to lead the Cardinals back out on offense.
5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well.
And now off to the races, down the right side.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Shotgun now for Murray. And this will be swung out here for counter. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when Murray has it knocked loose. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
McManus's point after is good. And a rout is on here in this first half. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Meanwhile, Murray's throw here taken in by Isabella. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Murray. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, this defense, Charles, we know how good they are, but they've been beat a couple of times in this game. However, they got the latest laugh.
And how about the way they hung in there? Because you're exactly right. They're not used to being dented as they've been so far in this game. But what they just did there with that pick 6, that's the equivalent of what was happening to them. They're throwing touchdown passes against them. Okay, we'll take one back against you.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. Murray trying again after the pick 6. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath, as now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start out west at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, and it is the Chargers who have the lead in that one. Keenan Allen, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll stay in the NFC West as we head up through Oregon and on to Seattle to check on the Seahawks. And it was the visiting San Francisco 49ers that come in and get the victory. Elijah Mitchell, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Phillips now from the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
They'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing is Wilson. They'll let this go deep for Sutton. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now Wilson. Quick slant to Hamler. And he's brought down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Touchdown, Broncos. Eric Silver, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Isabella now from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They'll start by running the option to the right. Murray fighting, lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Russell Wilson. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have opened the lead up to 60. Well, familiar refrain. A turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. No return from Isabella. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. From the gun on third down. Murray had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Andy Lee now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 23. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So first and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at the 31-yard line. Wilson. He finds Sutton crossing the formation complete. Now he's into the clear again, finding room at midfield. Cortland Sutton, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 69 yards. And the Broncos get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. back to throw. Murray. Green brings it in. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
He'll dump this one off to Connor. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Murray. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Randy Gregory. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is fielded at the 27. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager.
And this is caught at the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Jerry Jeudy, 58 yards. And the Broncos extend their lead yet again. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Isabella not going to risk a return here, and they'll start at the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Murray's throw here complete into the hands of Ertz. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, and here's Murray. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They go play action with Wilson. This will be caught. Jeudy. Touchdown! Jerry Jeudy with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Broncos just continue to roll.
In order to lead in a game, contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. McManus now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on 8. Tidy two-play drive that time. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Isabella now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter